it's okay for me to read Acts 10 times if I want to. It's okay for me to reread the same verse for the entire month. Like, there's no curriculum of you. This is the perfect way to read the Bible.
Right.
This is the amount of times you should read this. This is when you should understand this. The amount of people I know that read the Bible in a year, I haven't even gone. I don't think I've read more than 7 books in completion in my life.
Yeah.
And here I am thinking, I get to, like Daniel, I get to be a part of special events and get to speak to youth ministries and do all these different things. I'm like, I feel like the dullest pencil in the room. If it comes down to completion, I guarantee you I'm failing.
Yeah, but you also, like, you have to feed you too. So you have to make certain that there's something coming in, because if your cup's not getting filled, there's not enough to flow out. And so you have to make sure that's happening. But it can happen lots of different ways. Yeah. And I do, and just to make certain we clarify, there's nothing wrong with reading the book through the Bible all the way through. Everybody should have that experience at some point in your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you need to just be investing yourself in it and taking time to pour into, yourself. Yes. Because it's not, I don't want everybody to know what Kim says about life. I want you to know what God says about life. And how am I going to know how to tell you that if I'm not getting what God's given me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we can't be resume Christians. It's not about having. No, I mean it's not about having like. When it's gonna be great when we get to the Lord, but the last thing I want to be like is like, look at all I've done for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because if you have that mindset, it's the mindset of like, was I not there when you, like, what are you talking about? I was not there when you did all those things. Like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? We can't have this mindset of trying to accomplish things for God in that regard, because that's not in the way of how it works. Yeah. Like in my mind, it works in the sense of like, we're all born with a purpose. I always say the 2 things I feel like Lord makes us born with is a purpose and a relationship. I feel like every human being, whether you know God or not, has that in their heart. Yeah. And God is the only one who can feel that God-shaped hole in that heart for those 2 things. But when those things are filled, it's you working with God to accomplish those things, because God is allowing you to the honor of working with Him to accomplish the purposes that He has. Yes. So it's still His, regardless. We just along for the ride, and we get to enjoy this wonderful, crazy ride in a lot of situations, but crazy ride nonetheless, but beautiful ride nonetheless. When we take the mindset of like, okay, but let me do this for God in that regard, then we try to take it out of His hand and try to be kind of like Abraham with Sarah, or like, or basically everybody, or Isaac with Rebecca, or that we try to take things into our own hands. Yeah. And it takes, and God's gracious a lot of times to bring us out of that, but it's so much easier just to follow what He's doing without the mindset of like, I gotta accomplish these things. And like you were saying, what I love about what you're saying is when we started this podcast, right? We had no idea that it was going to be a podcast. First of all, like we didn't have an idea of what it would look like. We had no idea where we would be at. Now we got cameras that and microphones and things like that, and we're looking forward to what 2025 is going to look like. But it's crazy to me because when we started this thing, I only met you from. Or, you know what I'm saying? Randomly in a hotel room. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back when we went to Passions. And
well, let's clarify that. We were at a
I was going to say, you made that sound sketchy.
Okay, sorry.
No, I'm cutting a deal in the back room.
We were roommates. The first time we met, we were both at the college ministry at Hope.
Exactly.
We were in the same room for a church conference.
Exactly.
Not a random.
Exactly.
Just clarifying. That's good.
Yeah, you moved to Texas for a job with Bailey, came back. And that's when God gave me the word about the podcast, and we got together. To your point, was like every question that the group asked me at the time, there was no answer for, because I didn't have one. They would, like, how many times we got into the story like, what were we going to be doing? I have no idea. Yeah. Going out, where were we meeting? I have no idea. Yeah.
But that's the whole point of what you're saying with this, though, is everybody thinks they have to be able to answer all those questions before they do something. Yeah. How about you just take the first step, and then the next one, and the next one, and God will open a door, or He will quite clearly